Mitro, welcome to episode 21 of Interesting Facts and Quotes. Request please subscribe the channel right now by pressing the red icon. We have for you today 25 interesting facts and 5 interesting lines. Hope you enjoy them. So let me start with 2 rather unpronounceable and long English words. 1. Floccina UC nihili pilification. It has 29 letters and it's spelled as FLOCCINA Floccina UC nihili pilification, which is more than the entire 26 letters of English language. The word means that the action or habit of estimating something as worthless. 2. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. It has 28 letters, which again is more than the entire 26 letters of England. It is spelled as ANTIDISESTABLISHMENTARIANISM. It means opposite of disestablishment, often used in the context of Church of England. 3. Let's not forget Christopher Columbus was looking for India when he lost his way to America. Funnily, in his letter of the first voyage, explaining why he was looking for India, he mentioned the word gold 17 times, and as far as Lord and God is concerned, he mentioned it only once. 4. Lucky 7 is the world's favorite number. There are 7 days in a week, 7 colors in a rainbow, 7 notes in a musical scale, 7 seas, and above all, 7 continents. 5. Anytime you ask people about happy moments in their lives, they have to really think about it in a very hard manner, but ask them about unpleasant or sad moments, they will come up easily with many. 6. Fake news. Be aware of fake news. There are some 560 million or say 56 crore internet users and 354 million or say 35 crore smartphone devices that are either willing recipients, distributors, or even victims of this growing phenomenon in India. In many cases, all 3. I'll repeat this. Fake news. There are some 560 million or say 56 crore internet users and 354 million or say 35 crore smartphone devices that are either willing recipients, distributors, or even victims of this growing phenomenon in India. In many cases, all 3. Law of 7. Law of diminishing returns means every incremental acquisition, maybe a costlier car, gives less incremental happiness than the earlier acquisition did. 8. Around 56 to 58% of the GDP is generated by private consumption. 9. The Meteorological Department's first 2019 Southwest monsoon forecast put it at near normal, or 96% of the long period average, that is LPA, of 89 centimeters of rainfall. Private forecaster SkyMet Weather said the monsoon would be below normal at 93% of LPA. From a long-term perspective, India is currently in the midst of a dry epoch. Government says that between 1951 and 2007, southwest monsoon has shown a decreasing trend. This monsoon provides about 35% of India's annual rainfall, significantly influencing food production. 10. Purchasing power parity. PPP is an economic theory that compares different countries' currency through a basket of goods approach. According to this concept, 2 currencies are in equilibrium or at par when a basket of goods, taking into account the exchange rate, is priced the same in both countries. Closely related to PPP is the law of one price, LOOP, which is an economic theory that predicts that after accounting for differences in interest rates and exchange rates, the cost of something in country X should be the same as that in country Y in real terms. 11. Break water to storm is a type of phrase which means that we take a measure or make a structure with concrete or with rock at a seashore to protect coastline from dangerous waves and storm. which often take place in the sea. Some are naturally credited and some barriers made manually are known as breakwater. 12. Ashwata trees are those whose roots are in the air and branches touch the ground, symbolizing the subtle truth that the world we observe is the inversion of the real. 13. Orwellian is an adjective describing the situation, idea, or social condition that George Orwell identified as being destructive to the welfare of a free and open society. 14. Mam Ramaswamy, Chennai industrialist, holds the record for the most wins in Indian turf horse racing history. 15. Barely 4% of all households in India are headed by women. Over 70% of currently married men are household heads compared to 3% of married women. 16. The average protein intake of a person in India through normal diet has dipped 6 to 10% in the past 2 decades, with almost 86% of rural and 70% of urban population not getting the government designated 2,400 kilocalories per day, while the richest get over 2,518 kilocalories each day. The poorest get less than 1,679 kilocalories, a difference of almost 50%. 17. US and India are able to export only about a quarter of what they import from China. 18. In the 1950s, private health costs were just between 5 to 10% of the total health bill of the country. Today the position is reversed, and the change has not been in slow motion. There has been an 8-fold increase in the number of private hospitals between 1980 and now. This is why the NSS records as many as 24% of rural households and as many as 18% of the urban households fall into the debt trap on account of medical expenses. 19. According to the most recent national survey, around 5 crore people in India are pushed below poverty line due to high out-of-pocket health expenditures. 20. As of the last count, there are 20 lakh major temples, 3 lakh major mosques, and thousands of churches in India. 21. In the recent past, UNESCO estimated that India had lost 50,000 artifacts till 1989. I would say the number could even be higher. India has been able to recover only 40 pieces of the stolen heritage since independence. Fascinatingly, 27 out of them have come back only in the last 4 years. 22. With half of India's farm less than half hectare in size, many of its farmers need decent jobs to escape poverty. 23. In the past centuries, people suffered from a severe lack of information, which made it extremely difficult to verify what's true. Today, we suffer from too much information, so people are too distracted to investigate the truth. 24. Mount Stuart Elphinstone was a Scottish statesman and historian associated with government of British India. He later became the Governor of Bombay, where he is credited with the opening of several educational institutions accessible to Indian population. 25. In a single day, there are 50 million exchanges on Snapchats, 1.15 billion opinions on Facebook, and 500 million Twitter feeds, and a multitude of reactions on newspaper and TV. And now, friends, some interesting lines. These days, to find fools is not difficult, and to find people who fool others is even easier. 2. Tradition is a guide and not a jailer, said Somerset Maugham. He was a famous author. 3. George Mikes, Hungarian-born British journalist, said this of Englishmen and queues. An Englishman, even if he is alone, forms an orderly queue of one. 4. India has always been a difficult country for Indians. 5. If you are not born with a silver spoon, you better become a spoon. So that's all we have for today. Kindly share it with your friends and folks. See you soon.